Hi, welcome. Soleil here. How are you today? Well, thanks for watching this video and to be here, joining me in this journey into ourselves and try to understand who we are and also trying to become aware about what is going on around us and within us, inside and everywhere, right? With our friends, with families, and our relationships. In other words, is when we are trying to become conscious. And becoming conscious actually is a whole journey that is not easy. Because once we become conscious and aware about what is surrounding us and why we do this or that, why we make these kind of decisions, actually is no way back. So you know that once you change and become conscious, you can stop and just become the one you were before because it's not possible, right? Or at least even if you try, somehow you're gonna lose that ability to become unconscious or subconscious, whatever you want to name it. But when we become aware, we discover a whole new world, you see. We come to this world in a way that we receive a lot of instructions. I don't say education because that is a different thing. But we are instructed by our caregiver, parents, family members, teachers later, and everyone around about how to navigate through life in order to be able to survive and be successful later. So we believe that we are all that. We believe we are the ones that our parents decided that we are, and how they did that by telling us what we should do, what we should avoid, and what is actually our destiny, right? But what happens when we grow older and we have experiences, we start realizing that we may not agree with all those instructions for life. We may get some ideas through social media, through the way our friends perceives us, but the most important thing is how do we see ourselves? If we can develop that ability to see ourselves from a different perspective, it's not just as others see us, it's how we perceive ourselves. And for that, we need to be able to become aware and also to realize that we are not our thoughts. That is something that we talk in another video, that actually I remember I've been working with survivors of domestic violence and emotional abuse. And I remember the time when I said, you know what, you have to realize that you are not your thoughts. And some people look at me like, what are you talking about? Because I think for most of you, probably, you totally understand what I'm talking about. Becoming the observer, becoming the witness of our thinking process, of our crazy thoughts or our crazy mind. And to become the observer, we need to be able to be in the present moment, in the here and now. Most teachings, most masters, especially from Eastern philosophy, they advise and they encourage us to do that, to be present. And what does it mean to be present? It means we take a time, we pause, it's like a time out from our whatever we're doing, and we connect with our body, and we stop to be able to see, to witness how our mind is sending and bombarding thoughts after thought, for us to keep us preoccupied and entertained with our thoughts. And sometimes we believe we are that. And we may say, oh, I can't stop thinking, it's impossible. Yes, of course. The idea is not to stop thinking, is to detach ourselves from our thoughts just by observing them. So, when we talk about radical acceptance, the first step is to become mindful or to see clear. And in order to see clear, we need to be able to be in the present moment, right here, right now. And how do we do that? Well, this is how we do this. First of all, we take a deep breath, maybe another one, and then we breathe normally. And then we connect to how we feel in our own skin, in our own body. Is there any sensation, any discomfort, any tension, anything? We don't have to change anything, just become aware, notice that. And if you get distracted with a thought, you just come back and focus on your breath, in and out. How does it feel? Does it feel warm, cold, easy, calm, anxious? And you just accept that. You're open to recognize and accept whatever you are feeling. And even if you are feeling, oh, I don't want to do this, this is too difficult, you also accept that. If you feel like, I can't do this, you also accept that. See? It's total acceptance. And at the same time, instead of going, straight into the blaming or self-blaming, like, oh, I am not able to do this, I am not good for this, all that, you feel compassion for that one who is not feeling comfortable, who is having doubts and feeling weak maybe, or not good enough. To just feel compassion for yourself. You love yourself the way you are. But of course, that doesn't mean you kind of accept and decide that the one you are right now is like forever. That is never going to change. See, this is not really trying to change, because in order to change something, if you decide to do that, we need to know where we are and who we are now. And once we know, okay, at this moment, I feel anxious and I feel like I am not able to do this, and I accept that, the next step is going to be, you stop the resistance to that, so you become free. I know this may sound crazy, but I am not telling you what to do. It is your decision to make, and you have to have your own experience, because we are all different. There's not one formula for everyone. These are just suggestions that you may take and modify, to whatever works for you. But the good news is you can try something new, and when we try something new, probably we're going to get a new outcome. So this is just an invitation to try. So when you are trying to observe your thoughts, and you can imagine whatever works for you. We all have this imagination that is amazing that we can use. And you can decide that your thoughts are like horses. I gave you this analogy before. I used to remember, I remember that I used to imagine that thoughts were like horses running. And I was just observing them passing by, running around without following them, without trying to catch them or anything. But this requires practice. Everything that you want to change or you want to modify, from your routine, the way you used to do things, requires practice, as anything else. You become good at something that you keep practicing more and more and more, like I don't know, riding a bike or painting or playing an instrument. You become a master when you keep practicing, and practicing is not easy. It's not pleasant many times. It requires work and an effort. But if you know that effort is going to, provide you with the benefit that you're going to be free from suffering, free from obsessive thinking, probably, then you have this motivation and the inspiration to practice, and more practice. So here it is, my friends. I would love to know what you think about this. So remember to subscribe, send me a comment, anything, and I would love to read what you say. So remember, keep practicing and be kind with yourself. Be patient and kind, because you deserve that love that comes from you, and it's no love better than that one. Thanks for watching. Namaste.